Ladies and gentlemen, this is Soap Boxing Podcast.
Who did you turn professional with?
Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Soapboxing Podcast. We have a very special guest, strength and conditioning coach, Evins Tobler, probably more known as a strength and conditioning coach for now WVC World Champion Regis Prograis, which you're just coming off of that win. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm high. I'm high off of emotion. I'm high off of victory. I'm on cloud nine. I ain't coming down until we get all them belts. And then I'm gonna
Has
go to the
anything,
next level.
yeah, has anything changed for you after the win?
I mean, that's all we do is win. I don't mean to sound cocky, but I mean, yeah, it's one of the biggest belts in boxing. And as a coach, as an athlete, you feel super, super elated, just for all the hard work that you put in, all the ups and downs, whatever, you just feel the feeling is indescribable. I can't really tell you, I'm an emotional guy. I'm pretty passionate about what I do. But if you was at the fight, you'd have heard my voice all over the building when he knocked that kid out. So I'm way up here now. So.
I think you are pretty known for like your passion and how much you verbalize things. I think even at like the press conferences and the weigh-ins, we just hear you talking.
Yeah. I mean, it's a part of the game when you put so much time in with an athlete like me and Reese. We've been training over 8-9 years now, and to see him to excel at that level from working, and it makes you do stuff. I won't say out of character, but people don't understand that unless you've been in the trenches with us. So yeah, I'm vocal. I want to be that guy. I am that guy. But I'm crazy right now, And might as well call me a prophet because I told them what was going to happen. I told Coach, I said, I'm gonna tell you something, Cepeda. You've been here 2 times already. Your 3rd time won't be at our expense. I said, number one, you don't understand the sacrifice that this kid has gone through. And when I say he died 3 times, he died to the work that we were doing. And I knew for sure that there was no one that day on the 26th that could take this kid away from winning that title. So at all costs, we was gonna win that title. They had to drag us out of there on the fucking stretcher.
I think what you're feeling is a sense of accomplishment and a release from all the hard work and the objective. The objective being accomplished is like it's always a flood of emotions. And the more you do, the more things are at stake when you win. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
And like I told you, I've been enjoying watching since then. And I don't consider myself cocky. I consider knowing what the fuck I'm talking about and what I'm doing. And so I don't worry with people. The people say, "Oh, be humble" and all that shit. I don't think they know what humble is anyway, because they just don't want you to make them feel smaller than they already feel standing next to you. So my thing is, don't be arrogant, but if you know what you know, you're not gonna deter me, and especially after we accomplished it. I said we're gonna do this, and it happened. So now now what? So what? Find another way to criticize what I'm saying. But I was telling you before, you criticize me. We win, you criticize me. So I don't worry myself with the critics at all. I don't care. You don't have no validity in what you're saying. Now, and what keeps you grounded in that process, I think, is who you surround yourself with. Because if you surround yourself with me, I'ma always tell you the truth.
Oh yeah.
I'm always, hey, bro, that ain't how that went, or that's how it went. Even if in back doors we going, man, fuck them. But look, this is how this went, whatever. So let's go back out there. We gonna say what we want to say. But I don't worry myself with the critics, man. But I don't consider myself arrogant either. I'm confident, but I'm not gonna be quiet. Listen, how many times at press conferences and shit, I tell the other guy he can't win. I'm sure that's arrogant and shit. And I'm just saying, it's like with this wine color. I got a text the other day about the not wine, whatever the fuck his name was on it. And I said, dude, when I was up there, I told the dude he couldn't win. You can't win. You're a good fighter, bro. You can punch and all that shit, but you can't win. There's nothing you can do that's gonna win. You're not good enough. Well, that to an undefeated fighter, other people here they ain't go like, oh man, this is an arrogant motherfucker. No. I'm adding up the math, the X's and O's, and you can't win, bro. Short of a wild shot getting in that my kids being overconfident. So I'm all for confidence. I'm all for all that shit, man. So I'm enjoying the show. Talk that shit. And what you and I know, while Regis doesn't lack confidence in no manner,
absolutely,
no way, shape, or form. I would say Regis is a little more composed, I guess. Even though like you seen that emotion after that fight. When it was over and they stopped it, but really he's a good guy, bro. Like he's just gonna say, man, we gonna get him, we'll beat him, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Where when we was watching that fight, man, the whole play when he stopped that kid, we all erupted and talked cash money shit, and it would have been explicit lyrics coming from me the whole time.
But this is honestly, we did the work. And this is I've seen him compose before, but I think this was a different locked in Regis. He was locked all the way in, and when the fight happened, everything that he was feeling that came out. And I told those guys, listen, when Cepeda, I told them while they were singing, I shouldn't even say while they were singing the national anthem. I said, take his will. Take his will. Number one, Regis got a hell of a chin. And if you watch the fight in the middle rounds, when he caught Regis, he caught him a couple of times, right? He jumped right back on his ass, right back on him. And that alone broke his spirit. Because Peter was thinking, what? I just hit this dude. And he hit me harder. So when you in a fight like that, you're gonna get broken. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think it's because Regis he's so like mentally in tune, and physical things don't phase him. I've been training alongside Regis probably 2 years now, and I've seen him through all his camps, and this one I thought was really different. He does a lot of things before he even comes to the gym to spar. So he's not training to look good in sparring. He's not training to have a good sparring match. His mindset, to me, it looked like it was way far past where he was in the moment. Like he wasn't doing it to look good. He really did it to dominate Zepeda, because even though a lot of people said that Regis was the favorite, he still knew that there was a lot of people doubting him because, Zepeda's a good boxer and Regis doesn't do well with boxers and all the things that people were saying. And I know like that can really get to somebody mentally, but I think that he was preparing himself so that none of that would phase him.
Yeah. You're right. So I'm glad you said that because, like I told Zepeda's camp, I said, there's levels to this. And when I say levels, I'm talking about physically, mentally, all that plays into a part of a fight of that magnitude, at any fight, if I can say. So what we had to do was, in my mind, was create a physical situation that would cause him to feel like he was going to get broken. And when I say die in the training, I'm always working on the mental toughness. So I may have a fighter do some crazy shit and just see how far you're going to go mentally. Because when that mind go, you're done, right? And we did some things in this camp that tested his own will, and guess what? He went right through it. So 2 weeks before the fight, I knew he was ready.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was ready. I asked the boxing coaches, even coach for I gotta stay in my lane. I asked him for a day, just one day to do the bag work. And I'm gonna say this, he'll know, but I'm gonna say it now. I told him we did bag work, right? The last bag workout. I told him it was 21 minutes, right? It was actually 28 minutes. So I could have just walked away. We had a pool workout. That was unbelievable. And when I tell you, it tested, because he didn't know what was going to happen. He didn't know when he was going to finish. None of that. And when he finished, it was like a relief. And I was like, this kid is ready to go. We could have stopped 2 weeks before that, and he was ready. So that mental toughness is unbelievable. At being a fighter, you got to have that, because you may get hit and you may have to respond. Some guys, they fold. I mean, you saw your boy last night. I ain't gonna talk about him much. I'm gonna talk about that guy. I even remember his name. I remember his name.
You're talking trash.
Peel.
So how many? Yeah, that's his boy. So how many boxers do you train, or have you trained at strength and conditioning?
Oh man, the list is crazy. I work with Quentin. Quick draw. He could be another champion. I've worked with Kenny Sims. I've worked with Jared Hurd. I've worked with Eric Molina. I've worked with female. I've worked with Jenna. I've worked with Hannah Gabriel. So many boxers that I've worked with, and I've worked with you. I think we got to revisit that. Because I'm gonna have to get her. But I work with a variety of boxers, and they all have that. They all have a difference. Coach, you remember when we worked with Kenny Sims, when Sims had that fight with Rodriguez?
Yeah.
I told him what was going to happen. I said, "You can whip his ass. He's gonna get tired." I mean, I'm not. It's the truth. He was on the show with you. He told you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I seen being across the ring from Kenny and sparring with him and stuff. I seen that the difference between Kenny and Elvis was night and day as far as boxing understanding. When I seen he was working with him, and I knew he would be up to par with his athleticism, physicality. He'd be in shape. I did a couple national podcasts before that fight, and I told them people, man, this Kenny Sims kid is special, but because the couple sidetracks he had, people don't see it. I said, but I don't concern myself with people see. If I value your opinion, it's because that particular person, right? Now, if he says something or she says something, I'm like, maybe I need to double check. But I told everybody, like you did, Kenny Sims is gonna beat this kid pretty convincingly and make him look very, very regular. And that's what he did. And of course, Tyrank dropped him and didn't pick Kenny up, which is fucking insane to me.
Right.
But it's that's the business and marketing part of boxing. You got to have something to market, because the fans and boxing media too. I mean, how much in the media? How many? There's commentators right now at the highest level of boxing that don't know what the fuck they're looking at.
Absolutely.
So I don't care nothing about the fans or boxing media online doing what we doing right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know very much about boxing, and to put my coach's hat on, y'all know, and I think everybody knows I'm team Regis Prograde to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I know him and all that, and that's good. And it's the same circles and shit. You my kid strength and conditioning coach. Aaron's my partner. He cuts for me. Bobby, me and Bobby go back 24, 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our home team, but that's not even it. The fact what that guy is bringing to the old glory of New Orleans boxing by just being from there, it has a special place to me. But
he's a true throwback fighter.
Yeah, true throwback fighting. I've been saying that for years, and he showed it. But what my coaches had on, I talked to Regis prior to the fight. I said, how you feeling? He said, Coach, I ain't never been this confident ever. And that scared the shit out of me because that's when you fuck up. When you're overconfident and you're in peak condition, like I want something to be wrong with my fighter going in. Maybe he was sick, maybe his arm hurts, maybe so. Okay, now we got something to focus on. When everything's rolling, it don't never come out right. It scared the shit out of me. But Regis wouldn't be denied, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Zapata's a real fighter.
Yes.
He was the truth. He was the real number one. And had Regis gave him an opportunity to win that fight, he would have took it.
Mm-hmm.
But to echo what Evans just said, Jeff, I believe he's 100% correct that he broke his will, because when Zapata had spots and he didn't have very many spots, but landed flush and Regis looked a little frustrated, pushing himself, not technically, just battering him, old school. Mm-hmm. Zapata could have got brave, but he didn't. Regis didn't let him get brave, man. And that was the beautiful thing. And never did I feel we wouldn't win the fight, but I just didn't, I was like, man, I want a tough camp. I want you, shit was rough. Now I get to take it out on this dude, but man, he passed with flying colors. And I'm going to tell you, the 3 fights was it 3 fights, Evans, between Taylor and this guy? 2 or 3? Yeah,
maybe 2. I think it was 2. It was Red Cat. It was
Red Cat, somebody, and then the tall kid
McKenna.
It was
it was Heraldez from Vegas.
Red Cat, the TMT guy, the Saudi Arabian guy, the Irishman, the 6-footer, and this guy.
Yeah,
I've been so impressed with Regis since Taylor up to this.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was half-ass expecting Regis to outbox him and beat him up, and to me, he just beat him up. He went forward, banging out. I think Regis knew he could do it or whatever, because otherwise he would have chose something else. But irregardless, he got the close clear. And I'm gonna tell you, man, if the WBC made this, man, I'm more leery for Zapata than I am for Ramirez. Now that ain't me overlooking Ramirez and who he is and what he is, but I don't think his style matches up with Regis at all, bro. At all, man. Just like I think if you put Pro Gray in there with Taylor again, Taylor's in trouble. It's a reason why Taylor didn't fight. It was there. Some money was there to do the fight. Yeah. But man, the way Regis ended that Taylor fight, he know, man, fuck this dude. Let me move on and go and more power to him. He wanted to fight, fine. Go ahead, go where you want to go. But I tell you, I think we wash Ramirez now. Now, y'all know I speak the truth. Do not overlook Teofimo, bro. Don't think because of his performance.
Take a drink to that.
Don't think because of his performance that he won't get
Listen.
up for Regis. Regis is a different guy. He's gonna be worried about Regis.
Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you. I know you like Teal. I like Teofimo too. But what I see
Now
in
he's the ops.
Teofimo is the same thing I saw in Cepeda. Yes, I don't believe that he has enough power. If he does not correct that man inside, it's gonna be a hard climb back to the top. With all that talent, yes, he's very talented. Yes. But that will, and then to question yourself, and he won't be. It'll be an easy ass fight for Reese. Reese knocks him out.
If he don't get some help in that corner, bro,
he not, because that daddy ain't going nowhere.
and if you bring somebody in, it requires the daddy to shut the fuck up and get out the way.
I already told him. I already told him, don't come at me with that mess, because it's gonna be a different ball game. I have to do.
Oh well, he ain't no
better be quiet.
Yeah, he ain't no tough guy.
Let them do their thing.
But this is what I'm saying. What you nailed it though, Evans. You nailed it. He's what you said. He
wounded.
He's got no. I'm talking about his upside. You said he's
he's talented.
Talented. He got talent coming out the ass. Mm-hmm. We was watching a fight and Tyler goes, me and Tyler was watching. He goes, Dad, I didn't know Tio was that fast. I said, what? That motherfucker's bad, bro. I said, it's just.
So
he came like this with all the talent, and now it's evening out to where you need some boxing, and now it's starting to, right? It's starting to, And I'm gonna tell you something. When Regis has a rough round with anybody, when he goes back to the corner, he gets answers and gets reminded of what to do or what not to do or what just happened and adjust. T.O. goes back to the corner and his shit is nothing. It's what you doing, bro? I need you to do this. I need you to do that. But it's no instruct. It's not intricate. Yeah. And being a T.O. fan, I hate that for that kid because he whooped Loma on that talent. Not, and he did a few things right. Don't get me wrong. He does shit right. Mm-hmm. But that intelligence, that in-ring intelligence that you've seen from Regis against Red Catch, TMZ, the 6-foot Irishman in Saudi. Mm-hmm. You seen Regis. I don't know if people understand. You seen a 5'8" Regis make that 6-foot dude look like a clown because he threw him in. And Regis is a throwback, a brawler. He wants to come beat you up. He's seen, okay, this tall motherfucker needs to come here. And then once he come in and see he can't win, now he's gonna run for dear life. He ain't running in boxing. He's running. He's getting away from me, and then I could chop him and double step him and beat him up. So these are things that I think will be the huge differential in a T.O. Regis fight. Whereas with T.O. and this Spanish kid, yeah, he was slick, he could box and all that, but he couldn't make T.O. pay really for the holes in his game. Well,
even
Regis knocks you out. Regis knocks you out if you fucking leave your hands down.
even people one day they can give me my boxing IQ props. I don't know. Listen, I ain't no boxing coach, but I do know the will. I know the desire of athlete because I was one myself. Even before the Lomachenko fight, Lomachenko was doing all that moving, and I wasn't even a Teofimo fan. What I knew about Teofimo, at that time, he had some dog in him. I told them dudes to their face, I should have betted on that fight. I said, you see Lomachenko with all that movement? I said, when Teofimo hit him in his mouth, all that shit gonna cease. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened. And then after the 6th or 7th, 8th round, Lomachenko starts saying, well, I'm gonna have to take some punches. Then he got brave, but the fight was already over. It's the same thing with
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. When Teofimo feel the power that Regis has with them 8-ounce gloves, when he retreat, it's gonna be a problem. All that boxing gonna go out the window. because Regis is gonna hit him, and Regis can box. It's hard to hit him. So I mean,
when Regis hits them fucking ribs, man, it's brutal, bro. It's brutal.
It's horrible.
I can attest to how hard Regis hits. I can attest to how hard Regis hits. Like, you know, we spar and he's heavy-handed naturally, and he tries not to hit me hard. Of course, like, he's not gonna try to knock me out. But the very first time I ever sparred him, he hit me with an uppercut, and I had a bruise on my chin for a whole week.
Whoa.
Like a whole week. And he didn't try to hit me hard. He's heavy-handed. So imagine he's not holding back when he's with guys. Well, I wanna ask how important it is for a fighter to do strength and conditioning, and two, how do you train someone to actually have power?
Well, the important number one question is that although we, back in the day, the fighters they would do a lot of running and, this the basic stuff for boxing, 6, 7, 10 miles, more than that. I think the caliber of athlete has changed. And when I look at the whole as the fight goes on, you got a box, right? The coach is asking you to hit the punch, right? When you punch and you connect, that muscle has to recover, right? You can only do so much in the boxing. So the conditioning, the things it's very important that the conditioning coach understands how the boxing goes, how the things that you're doing translate over to boxing itself, right? So when I get an athlete, like let's say Regis goes 6, 7 rounds, what I have to do as a conditioning coach is repeat that in a way that same muscle is being used in a different form. So it's up to that coach to understand boxing itself. If Regis go 10 rounds in the ring, I got to figure out something to do for that amount of time that relates to boxing. Okay? All that fucking weight training, all that other crazy stuff does not relate to boxing. You have to know, as a conditioning coach, to do things that relate to what happened during that day. Because even when I quit, I said, "What'd you do today?" "Well, we did this." "Okay." So in my mind, I might say, "Okay, you did 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes of work." I may have him pick up a fucking chair for 20 minutes. But the intensity over that amount of time, they have to match. They got to match. And then when it comes to me knowing, so if I look at a fighter, let's pick a female. If you can do 10 pull-ups, I know you have some type of strength. So a boxer must have the same type of strength, I believe, as a gymnast. They're the strongest, most underrated athletes. You have to have the strength of a gymnast, the conditioning of a wrestler, the power and speed of a sprinter, the endurance of an Olympic swimmer, combined into one, which is a boxer. Boxing is the hardest sport on the planet. And for a coach that's not a boxing coach, he or she must understand how to make this fit and that whole entire thing to create a fighter. So the back, your legs, your shoulders, your lungs, those are things you work on. And you create a program individually for that athlete. Some things are very basic.
So you telling me So you're telling me bench pressing don't help?
You can bench press, right? You can bench press, but it can't, because guess what? We don't do this in the fight. We do this.
Yeah.
So if I'm a bench press, guess what? I'll be doing like this. I'm gonna have my fighter with the weights. We can still go on the weight, and I'm giving you this is basic shit. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. Now, on the off time, a bench, those are certain times that you got to use certain things. The basics don't change, coach. Everybody want to do, if you want your legs strong, you fucking got to squat, right? So if I take a kid, let me use, because I'm gonna be with Anthony Joshua one day. Listen,
better hurry up.
Yeah, I know, right? I gotta stay in my lane, but he need me.
I'm a fan,
look,
man. Poor kid.
Let's say that you're asking yourself to move around the ring and move back and forth. Your legs got to be in shape to do that shit too. So you got to find
kind of
movement.
shape though?
Huh?
What kind of shape is what they don't understand?
Absolutely, and I ain't telling them.
And you shouldn't, because I'm not either.
Do you have connections to get to them? Can you send him a video or something?
Listen, we got the best fighter in the world. I met him in Saudi Arabia 2-3 years ago, but he got a team of people that they believe what they're doing is working. And I don't think Anthony Joshua. When I see Anthony Joshua, I see a fighter getting round 6. He wobbling back to the corner. That they're gonna do with boxing. That's something to do with conditioning.
I was gonna say a lot of people think that Anthony Joshua, he doesn't really have the heart for boxing. Like he wants to do it, but it's not for him.
I don't.
I've heard people say that he wants to be a boxer, but he's doing it for like something else. Have y'all heard that?
Most people are saying, let me squeeze in right quick, Evan. Every time I hear that GIF, I know they don't know what the fuck they talking about. First of all,
because he is a warrior.
If Anthony Joshua was a cur, there's no way he could do the things he done did in the ring. Because he's been outclassed buku times and overcame it as well as the times he didn't. Anthony Joshua was a fighting man, period. He just was developed his mind from the outside looking in. He was developed as an amateur boxer by a group of trainers who believe in amateur style fighting, and he's never graduated. He's never learned to pace himself. He's never learned to control a ring because there's so much emphasis on being big and strong. When you physically big and strong, bro, that extra muscle you toting around is fucking you up, man. You don't need to be that fucking. You don't need to be a Greek statue, bro. Because guess what? I'm 6'1", I'm down to 227 now, right? And if I hit Anthony Joshua on the button, he's out of there.
Done.
Because you can't straighten that. So all you doing is hitting.
Maybe they're trying to make him look good in pictures.
You hindering his recovery because the muscles take so much fucking red blood cells and shit to try to recover. Check this out. And I'm gonna say, and I want Evans to correct anything I'm saying wrong because I'm a boxing coach. I'm not a strength and conditioning coach, though I come from the era where your boxing coach was your conditioning coach, right? So I know the basic. I know the basic way to get guys in shape from my history in boxing, and that's also why until Evans, none of my fighters had strength and conditioning coach for real, because it took for me to talk to Regis, then talk to Evans. Me and Evans had a sit down. I didn't just say, yeah, go over there with him. Nah, I want to know what the fuck he knows and shit. And basically, while he was breaking it down just a little while ago, this is what he was saying in my terms, in coach's terms. I got to make a kid's red line go longer, meaning his put out. He can put out longer and make his recovery short. He don't need so much time to recover. And that's what a boxer needs. A boxer, if you can go balls for the fans out here, let me break it down even a fucking retarded kid can understand. If you could, I'm sorry, you can't say retarded no more. I forgot.
You can't say that, no.
You know what I mean? The whatever the real word is for retarded kids. So if you can go balls to the wall, I need you to fight for 3 minutes, right? Before you get arrested. If you can go balls to the wall for 60 seconds or 3 minutes, that ain't enough. Because what if this guy can go balls to the walls for 2 minutes of the 3? Now we outmanned. We got to expand your red line, your top out, your full throttle, and then your recovery's got to shrink in order to get back to the top thing. It's now stupid boxing YouTube coaches. Let me explain something to you, stupid. This is what you don't understand. This goes to a whole fight. If Regis Prograis got to fight 12 rounds, you got to have his balls to the wall, red line completed, his recovery completed, and you need to know, let's say he catches one and gets wobbled a little bit. We no longer have 12 rounds in us because it took something out of us. So now we got to get the same job done in 10 or 11 rounds. Whatever the case may be, you know your fighter. You're supposed to know your fighter. So this thing is fucking universal. It's universal, whether it's 1 round of output, red line increase, recovery time shorten, or a continuous fight. This is boxing, folks. And this is the shit you don't hear about from the YouTube guys. You don't hear about this shit because they don't know. They have no fucking clue. Now take that same understanding and put it to will, determination, all those things. If this guy's got a crack in his determination and will, well, like Coach just said, he told Regis, convince him now, son. This guy don't have the will. Now go show him he don't have the will, and he'll whoop his own ass. We don't even. We just punching on him because he's gonna say to himself, "Man, I just hit this dude with everything I got," and he looked at me and grinned and punched me back twice. Now all of a sudden you go back to the corner and tell you and listening to your uncle, your daddy, whoever it is, and he's saying, "I need you to A, B, and C," and you going, "Yeah, but that shit don't matter."
I tried that. It didn't work.
And that's how you break them intangibles. But yeah,
Coach,
my
you
bad.
said it. That's perfect. And I promise you, with everything in me, that is my mindset. That's my mindset. To know that Regis can go 15 rounds, 20 rounds, because we put the work in, the volume for him to do that, the whole entire fight. I don't train for 36 minutes. We train for 55, 60 minutes to fight. So,
have you ever what kind of dynamics do you have with the fighters that you train? Does do y'all go back and forth, or do you just say, no, this is me, you listen to me, or do you have some good relationships? I know everybody's different.
They all hate me. We got love-hate relationship. You ask Quinn be like, "Man, fuck this."
Regis hates you like a motherfucker. He tells me,
Listen,
man, this fucking dude here, bro.
They know Quinn coming seriously. I mean, it's like, but at the end of the day, you know, they got results.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could talk all the shit. Listen, you said something earlier, Jiffy, like you've seen Regis and Regis would come in and don't really care about what he looked like in training. And my fight with him, I tell you, I don't give a fuck what you look like in training. I don't give a fuck. Figure if your legs tired, figure that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out. Work, do whatever, but training camp, we're gonna be exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna exhaust every avenue we can to put you in position, condition-wise, to match what coach is telling you to do in the ring as a boxer.
How else do you speed up recovery time?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was saying. 2 weeks before, coach, we had the workouts. I was going to give him a minute to recover. He was recovering in 33 seconds. I remember. I showed Benji. I said, watch this. He do a lap, come back down. Whatever we did in the lap, he was ready to go with 35. The lowest, the highest was 43 seconds. Gone again. I was like, this motherfucker, his recovery.
He's right.
Is on point.
Right.
He ready?
He's a very dangerous man. Right.
Yeah. So
you get 60 seconds break and you only need 30 seconds of it. That other guy's in trouble.
He in trouble.
Especially if you're not in the condition you were in.
Yeah, that's what I said.
At what point when you start recruiting boxers or however they come to you, at one point do you say, okay, yeah, I can work with you, or it's gonna be a long road for this one?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, when they come the first day, I'll put them through a test.
Mm-hmm.
That first day you walk in the gym, I said, okay, you want to fight? You want to train with me? Do this. Not just sit there. I said, give me Anthony Joshua, give me 9 minutes of your time. That's only 3 rounds. Give me 9 minutes of your time. And if you can do what I asked you to do within these 3 rounds, I'll say that your conditioning is on fucking point. Give me 9 minutes of your time. Matter of fact, give me 6 minutes. If I break you in 6 minutes, then you need me.
Oh, okay. I get it. If I break you, you need me. If I can't break you, then you might.
Let me tell you
The
something.
litmus
Every
test.
fighter I got right now, they made those 9 minutes. How about that? And they fight. They call me all kinds of names, but they keep coming back. Seriously. Ask them. Ask Jared.
What do you do when like they call you name? You don't phase you. You just be like,
I don't hear
whatever,
nothing.
motherfucker.
I just
Yeah.
sit there. They can say what they want. They got the door. The door's right there. They can exit. I tell them this is what we're gonna do. And if I see and one thing I do know that when my athletes come to me, I can look at them and tell how they're feeling, what they're going through. So guess what? I'll adjust the workout. In my mind, I got something already planned. But if they've just left the gym and they've gone 10, 12 rounds, and I can adjust. I'll adjust to what they're, how they're feeling. And then we get to working. The days that I think they're fresh, then I'll do what I need to do. But I'll adjust. I'm not just gonna, because that doesn't help me. That doesn't help the boxing coach. I'm not taking all, because we want to all be on the same page. So if partners come to me some days and say, Coach, I did 8 rounds. I did 10 rounds. So I'll adjust the workout to fit what we're gonna do. I still get my work done. So you just got to adjust to what the situation is, because when they see me, they see Coach, they got to come see me as well. So I adjust. Back in the day, I was like, fuck this shit. I don't give a fuck. But I had to adjust,
Yeah.
because I do want them to succeed. I do want the boxing coach to get what he's trying to get out of the athlete as well. So, I had to adjust, but each fighter is different. Each one of these fighters they're different. They got their own mentality. They got their own aggression. They got their own. Quentin is kind of laid back. Regis kind of aggressive. Jared had a little. Him and Kenny had dog in him, but I still had to adjust. Each one of them is different.
Mm-hmm.
So when you decide you want to come back as well, I got 9 minutes for you too.
We're not gonna talk about my situation
I just said throw that out there.
because I did not stop training with you. But how do you reach potential clients, or like do they reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? Or like how many do you keep on your roster?
It's word of mouth, and I think if you had a good experience with it, then you'll call me back. If not, then I just keep moving. I'm hoping and praying that the work that people see through Regis program and all the fighters I work with, that they know that I'm serious about what I'm doing, and I'm the best at what I do. And they can reach me on only on Instagram, Facebook at Fitness by Tobler, or just watch my work. If you watch boxing, you know who the best 140-pounder in the world is. You know that's my work. If that's not enough, then I'm not the guy for you.
Yeah.
So my work is speaks for itself. My fighters, they undefeated. They fight. I mean, look, they can go. I can pick through. We got Quentin has the belt. We got Hannah Gabriel. She's a world champion. You got Regis Prograis. He's a world champion. You got Kenny Sims. He has the belt. You got Jared Hurd. He was undisputed. You got Eric Molina, a top contender. I mean, it's real. It's right there. And Regis, they say he 2-time world champion. I got a world champion under my belt. What else do I need? And plus, I was an athlete myself at the highest level. I'm not just some guy. I lived this shit in my own right as a professional athlete. So when I got into boxing, I studied the boxing. I studied not the boxing, but the things that I could bring to the table to make them a better boxer. That's exactly what I did. Each year, I learned something different. I'm always willing to learn. So when I say I'm the best at what I do, I'm the best at what I do. And if I get an athlete, I'm gonna make them better. I might even be working with one of the guys at Far Regis. I talked to Tyrone McKenna a couple of days ago. I might work with him. Who knows? So, man, I love this sport. I love it, and I want to train the best. I get a challenge out of taking athletes who people just thought wasn't going to do something. And
Yeah.
and when you get to an athlete, when you get to their mindset, everybody's good at this level. What's the difference? What's going to separate them? You know what I'm saying? What's going to separate everybody? I tell Reese all the time. I said, don't forget the little things. Push off the back foot. If the coach tell you to throw a punch, throw the fucking punch. Because the one thing I can tell you is when an athlete is confident, confidence comes from training. It comes from training. And I can only use myself. When I competed in the long jump at the Olympic level, we used to do 10-step competition jumps. Every single time I jumped 23 feet from 10 steps, I knew without a doubt in my mind or in my heart that I was going to jump 26 feet. And whoever was in a competition had to deal with me jumping 26 feet. Anything after that, win, lose, or draw, I knew I was going to do that because the training let me know. So if we got a fighter, you got to train.
Coach, this is it's so funny what you just explained, because this is the part. Like when I hear these fighters and young people in general, outside of boxing, but definitely in boxing, the new hip thing is that, you know, mentally you gotta be this and that and the third and that. But they just talking about positive thinking and shit, which is bullshit. What you're talking about is having that positive mental based on doing the work, and you know you're there and ready to go.
Yes.
That's the part that everybody forgets. So when I'm looking at these kids on Instagram quoting Windmill Wilder, you gotta believe it, receive it, and all this old dumb shit, they not understanding. You could believe all the fuck you want, but if you didn't do the work and put in the time and have the tools necessary, I don't give a fuck what you believe. It doesn't matter, man. And that's the difference. So when you building that, what he just said, when you building, you actually work on building that mentality, then you could look back, because it's never more important than inside that ring, and you just got your ass whooped for 2.5 minutes, and you go, oh man, fuck this dude, I'm ready, I'm still good, and go out there and do it. Whereas you didn't do the work, you come back, you kicked your ass for 2.5 minutes, I think my arm hurts now.
Yeah.
You remember I pulled something? You know, that's again, that was a formula. You know, if this thing's a science, then there's formulas and equations and laws. And it definitely is, man. They definitely is.
Yeah. I think just from this whole show, what we've learned is that strength and conditioning is important.
Yes.
You need to get you some, and you're the best person to get it from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt, without an ounce of doubt in my mind. I lived it. I love it. This is my passion. This is my gift from God. And I have to share it with the people that I'm supposed to share it with. You know? So there we go.
I don't know what she might have lost a signal for a second, was in the call. But yeah, man. So it looks like the WBC done made Ramirez the #1 contender. I don't see no reason that fight can't come off.
Right.
I don't think, and I just heard that last night on the broadcast. I don't think that Pro Bellum and Top Rank have a good working relationship, according to them commentators who work for Top Rank. But irregardless, Bob Arum done showed 1,000,000 times, if it makes money, it's gonna make sense. Including letting his fighters go. Man, he let T.O. go when he had the undisputed title. He let him go fight for somebody else. That shit was insane to me. But he did it. So I don't see no reason Regis don't get Ramirez in a fight. And again, if Ramirez didn't want no piece of Zepeda, I don't see why the hell he won't fight this southpaw.
Well, he had his opportunity to fight years ago when Regis knocked out Julius Ndongo in South Dakota, and Bob Arum, Top Rank, with all that bitch ass shit that they be doing over there, they ran. They didn't even acknowledge Regis was the mandatory, and all of a sudden Ramirez wants to say, "Oh, I'm the mandatory." fuck you. I'll make that motherfucker wait. Fuck you, Ramirez. Just wait till you get your motherfucking chance, because you're gonna get knocked the fuck out like everybody else. If I was Regis, that ain't my business. I don't handle no business part of the deal. But when we think about how Regis was mandatory, they didn't even look Regis' way, bro. They stepped over him many a times. So now all of a sudden he want to fight? Nah. Politics-wise, I'll go make my money and then wait for that motherfucker and then wait to knock his ass out. He gonna get knocked out. I wouldn't even do it. But I ain't the one that's making those decisions. So that's my opinion.
That's another one of the things that makes me love the kid so much, man. Nothing was given to this guy. And still, right now, he still ain't, giving shit. He still got it the hard way, man. He ain't, Regis needs to be a part of them $10 million paydays and shit too, man. So
yes. Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, man. He's in his division. This division still stacked. He ain't got no reason to go nowhere. You're making weight. Everything's fine. We got 4-5 fights, and then that whole 35 crop that'll be coming up pretty soon.
That was my next question. I told them fools too. I'm gonna tell you right now. They are not. Record this and keep it. They ain't coming to 140. Tank talking that shit. He ain't coming. He talking about retirement. Ryan Garcia, he don't have the skills nor the heart. Who else? We got Devin Haney, all the skills in the world, but he can't take that thump. Who else we got? We got now Shakur, but they were sparring, right? He said he sparred with everybody.
35 and 40, you got all kinds.
Yeah, but look, he sparred, but you got 16 to 20 ounce gloves on. When you got them 8-ounce gloves on, it's a different fucking thump. Ain't none of them dudes fought nobody. Tank ain't fought nobody. The best thing he could have did was keep Floyd, because Floyd kept him hidden from all the dogs. He fought what's his name? He fought the weakest Barrios at 140. Then he fights, what's the other kid name from Puerto Rico? He fights him. He ain't fought nobody. Does he have skills? Yes. But can he take that real thump from a real 140-pounder? I wish they would come up to it, because this is the time we used to make millions of dollars. And when he get paid, we get paid.
I think
so. It's all good.
I think Tank is a skilled boxer and all that, and can punch and all that. But he's such a little guy that being in there with a guy that like Prograis, who let's face it, he beats you up. And so, depending on if he wants to box like he did the big Irishman or thump, he's gonna beat you up. And a little guy like that is really just hoping to counter, because
I want to see it.
And so I don't think I would favor Regis big in that. And I know I'm a fan and all that shit. So somebody might think, but no, I tell the truth, coach. You know that. If I don't think you'll win, I'll fucking tell you. Look, I'm riding with you through this loss.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the best we can. But
I like that.
But no, all bullshit aside, I'm loyal to who I'm loyal to, but I'm always cut it down the line. I'm a trainer. That's what I do. So I add X's and O's and intangibles as well as strengths and weaknesses, and I look at it across the board. And a guy like Tank and Regis just don't mesh good with me. So when Tank's talking, now I ain't trying to say don't have the fight, but when Tank's overly confident saying how he'll, Prograis look like this or look like, okay, bro, okay, good for you. Convince yourself that you can win, because y'all gonna have that fight. But I don't think Devin Haney needs to show up to the parking lot of a venue with Regis Prograis in the ring. So
nope.
That's just bad business. I hope that kid, and I don't listen. Haney will fight anybody. He showed it. He'll compete and all that shit. But that's a bad match for him too. He don't need to go nowhere near Regis either. But you got all them straps. You're gonna bump up and go. Let's see. I think the fight, if he don't hold off Ramirez, I understand. If he didn't want to give you the shot, fuck him back, make him earn it. But I really think a money fight at 40, bro, it's Teofimo, man, and Regis. I think that's
listen, listen, coach, whatever they do,
extravaganza.
Like I told that guy, we're gonna prepare the same way, and each fighter has a different button to be pushed from our side to theirs. And I already know Teofimo's side. I already know what his weaknesses are, and I already know what his strengths are. So when they make that fight, or whenever they do it, we'll be ready, 150% locked in, and we're not going to get outworked. We're not going to get outcoached. We're not going to get outwilled. We're not going to get outdone. So let him make it, and let Regis make the most money he can make in his career, because this is. So yeah, bring them all on, and I promise you, with everything that's in me, we'll be ready on my side physically. And I know them dudes, Bobby, Aaron, Howard, they're gonna do their job. We're gonna come together like always, build this team up, and we're gonna do our job individually and come together and build a fucking monster that's down to take anything in front of him. So make the fight. I'm ready.
I listen. I'm gonna go public and say this too, Jeff. Again, I'm team Prograde to the end. Till he's done in training kids himself, right? I don't care what's going on. If I had to pick today right now, I think that Regis Prograde stops Teal, and because Teal's not busy enough, he's one punch popping, and that ain't gonna get it. His defense, he hops in and leaps in, and he's been winning because he's a superb athlete, man.
Absolutely.
And so I think he needs I think he needs an add-on in the corner in camps. So I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable saying I think Regis gets him in the end. And that's, I'm a T.O. fan, but I don't give a hell if I thought T.O. could win. I'm still riding with Regis in the fight, but I would tell you who I think will win. And as of right now, especially like the little questioning at the end of the show, because I didn't see T.O. lose the fight. I know everybody else did. I didn't see him lose the fight, but I've seen the same deficiencies that I've been seeing since Lomachenko. I've seen him getting hit clean. I seen him hopping in and hopping too far out. I seen him relying on his speed. That ain't how you win fights, man. It's how you win fights if the guy, it's how you mesmerize guys and lull them to sleep if they gonna play that game with you. But Regis ain't gonna play that game. He's coming, he's thumping, he's throwing 4 shots at a time, and he's gonna circle you in while T.O.'s pecking, trying to touch with that jab is what I think he's doing. He's gonna fucking leap into a left hand, and it's gonna suck for him that night. So hopefully the kid gets him some help in the corner, because if I had to pick tomorrow, that's a rough fight, man. That's a rough fight for him, man. And is he got a puncher check? Oh yeah, T.O. I don't know if he got it at 40 because we ain't seen him enough, but he's a puncher. We know that. So anything could happen, but it's a bad match right now for what I'm seeing. And that intangible, the will you talking about, Coach. The will you talking about. If he's questioning himself against this kid Martin, and look, the kid Martin was cute. He didn't have no pop.
No.
He was a little bit of a boxer. I mean, don't. I hope everybody ain't fooling themselves into thinking he was, Ali or some shit in the ring. But I didn't see him fucking win the fight at all. I just seen the same deficiencies I see from T.O. recently.
Yeah, I agree.
So I have to go. I know y'all might continue the show. So I want to thank you for coming on, Coach Evins. And thank you for sharing your story. And y'all make sure y'all check him out. If you're a fighter, you're looking to increase your level of stamina in the ring and your mentality, you want that dog work, go ahead and hit him up. And then Coach Derek, I will talk to y'all later.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna remove myself. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Yeah, bro.
I want them to make. I wish they make the fight, man. Make the fight.
Listen, man. I don't see how the whole world don't agree he's the top dog at 40, and he's the guy running the show, and everybody needs to try to fight him, and if they want to be considered the best. So I think Regis needs to keep whooping these motherfuckers, man. And and I just don't want the kid sidelined. You know what I'm saying? And I want him in fights that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for paydays and shit. I'm glad he's making money. I mean, his money ain't nothing to sneeze at, but we want him at that $10 million mark. And the way he gets that is whooping these guys who all these promoters put their faith in. Yeah. They didn't put their faith. Listen, the promoter, here you people, here's another one. Tell me if you agree, Coach. These promoters with all their wisdom and shit that everybody thinks they such brilliant boxing people, when really they brilliant boxing business people. Because how is Regis Prograis? I mean, he signed now, don't get me wrong, but how out the gate wasn't he signed by a major? Why wasn't Quentin signed by a major coming out the amateurs like he did? Why wasn't Kenny Sims? Why ain't Kenny Sims signed to a major? And the list goes on, man. Now, I hope he slays all the majors guys. Slay them all, bro, because y'all deserve it. Y'all dropped the ball, you missed it, and it ain't nobody's fault. You can have those opinions. People may think my opinion ain't shit. That's fine. It's an opinion. But, man, go slay all these promoters, man. Bring your top dudes, man, and watch me cut their fucking head off, man. And by then, hopefully it's in such a money that if they saying, man, come there, he can say, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good right where I'm at. I'm controlling my own shit, and let me do my thing, man. Man, I top dog. I don't see this Martin kid giving him no trouble. I see him, if I had to pick, like I said, I see him stopping T.O. Taylor won't fight him. If he does, he'll beat him up. Who else we got? Comey. He'll get Comey. He'll probably stop Comey. You know, it's great fighters right here. It's great. All right, man. Yeah, they great fighters, man. So that was Ms. Ross, man. She said, I'm going to get my nails done.
Oh, no.
But yeah, bro. Man, he's really the top dog. And with your conditioning, bro, with Bobby's wisdom, bro, in the ring, man, Bobby's been doing this shit. Me and been doing it probably the similar length, but he's been doing it on the high level. He was doing nothing but boxing, right? This guy, he's kind of an unsung. And Bob, I ain't never kissed your ass on my show, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it today.
Right.
He's one of the unsung guys, bro. Like, I've heard guys, or not heard him, because if I heard him, I would check him. But I've read and shit in interviews, YouTube and shit, people questioning Bobby Benton and all that shit. I'm like, man, they have no clue. It's like the fighters. They have no clue what the fuck they talking about, bro. This dude was born in boxing and been doing it at a high level for years, bro. Years now. And so, man, I want everybody, I want him to come in there, clip everybody, stop everybody, whoop them all. And they real, and again, they real fights. We just talked about all the names, Coach. All these guys, they got this is real fight. So pay the man. Let's get it popping, bro. And keep going, man. I'm so proud of this dude, bro. It's ridiculous.
Me too, man. He deserved it. He deserved it. And as a coaching staff, as a part of the team, you know, we all come together, man. And it's a great thing to, man, be on a team with a bunch of guys that we all in for the same cause, which is to win world titles, matches, all the belts. We all got the same mentality, and we all bring something different to the table, you know. So it's great.
You know, was wild with that said, and both of us saying it. Them boys over there in Maine, bro. Bobby Benton, Aaron Navarro, to Lynch, Hollywood, the rest of them.
Yeah.
No egos, bro. None whatsoever, man. I told Jeff, you know, because that's Jeff's squad. I said, if she, you know, because she'll ask me my opinion time to time. And I Jeff, what Bobby said, what Aaron said. Because value what they saying. Value, they're not selling you as, you know, because it's not in them. It's not ego driven. It's not, man. Bobby will fly to Timbuktu to corner a guy who's 25-7. You know, 20. and do his best job he can do for him. You know what I'm saying? Egos, bro, and sky's the limit, man. And that's how a well-rounded team works anyway. Think about it. Nobody has to say, don't say this or don't say that. It's all one accord, man. If you on, and this is me on the outside looking in, Regis Progress from the Sam cat, the manager cat, all the way down, bro. Y'all all on the same shit. Everybody's on the same directive, the same end game. Everybody's looking for, man. And that's when a kid can be overlooked by the majors, come out with no buzz, nobody helping them, and you can still be successful. You can still do it and make your way and kick the door down that they don't want to open, right?
Yep, that's exactly what he did, man. Because, you know, I heard Coach Aaron said some time ago in the interview, like, one point Regis just turn the corner, and he know what he was saying, you know. And I think today I understand what he was saying, understood what he was saying when he said turn the corner. It goes back to what you said about coming out the amateurs, you know, everybody else getting all these big deals, and Regis had to work his way back to the top, you know. And I said that in one of the interviews, that I remember when Regis was working, you know, doing this regular stuff, working 2 or 3 jobs, and that kid never, till this day, has missed one fucking training session.
That's drive, man.
And then they turn around and give Broner $10 million. Get the fuck out of here. How about that $10 million you to go to Regis?
I'm sure that deal's worth that, huh? I'm sure that. Why would you write a guy that's done $10 million check? I'll never that. But you can promise him 3 fights and he'll make $10 million off of it. I mean, I don't know their business, but I know they gave Bud the 5 on his 10, and now they gonna give him 10. But did you see how packed that place was? Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy that Bob Arum said he ain't never made money on that dude? How you never made money on that dude and that place was filled to the rafters?
Yeah. You know, Bob Arum from the old school, man. They're from the old school, what I call old school boxing pimping. They know what they're doing, man. They've been doing it for so long. And you know he's made billions of dollars off these fighters. Billions of dollars, man.
He got a cap on that salary that he's making, that he ain't gonna go past. It's not that you ain't drawing it. That's what you're saying. He's capping their money.
Yeah, because the potential. I mean, come on, we gotta give props where it's props to do. You know, he and Don King ran the show back in the day.
And now we know Don was dirty because of all the lawsuits and discoveries and shit he lost. So
you know what? Guess what? I let go of Don King. I let go of Don because guess what? You knew what he was going to do. You knew he going to take, Don going to get his money regardless, but he going to get you the biggest fucking fights. That's what they're doing. And guess what? The best fought the best. Wasn't nobody running the ducking. Wasn't nobody saying, oh, well, you got 10 million followers. I got 2. Let's fight.
One of my good buddies in boxing, man, cut his teeth under Don King for years, man. That's who he worked for, man. So, and he has nothing but good to say about the dude. But I guess if you're in a circle, you see what's what on the outside. You just looking. But I never worked with Don King at all. He was by the time I came and was making moves, he was done.
I had a chance to see him working with Marlon Johnson, the guy that manages Eric Molina from 3MG Boxing. And the conversation that he and Don had, you know, Don gave him the leeway to handle stuff for Molina. And just to have that connection, that conversation with Don King is he is the legend when it comes to the sport of boxing. The dude had the biggest right here. So Eddie Hearn is one of those guys. Eddie Hearn make the big fights too. He gonna make them do this fight. They got to fight 3 or 4 times. They got to fight.
I like Eddie Hearn, bro. I think he's good for boxing. I think he brings money and shit. Yeah, he's very good for boxing, bro.
Should he letting them dudes fight? You want to fight all? Well, let's go then. So, but back for Regis, man, I'm happy. I'm blessed, and I just look forward to what God has for us next, and keeping us healthy and and our mind fresh, continue to get better in what we do. With not just we do, all my other fighters. I can't wait till we get back together with Quentin.
Yeah,
He's gonna be
absolutely.
champion too. So what they gonna say, Coach?
They're gonna be mad. They mad already. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be worse back. You know, by the time another guy makes it to the top who didn't have the doors open for him, you know, and this is, you know, as trainers, and I heard you earlier, and that's why I knew what you was talking about. If I wanted to just take on kids, if I wanted to just fill up the gym, I could tomorrow, right? But I'm a professional boxing trainer.
Mm-hmm.
My amateurs are amateurs because that's where they cut their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just gonna train anybody, bro. I'm just not. And you say why? Because the average trainer is looking for some athletes. I'm not looking for athletes, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for fighting men.
Yes.
I'm looking for guys with drive. I'm looking for guys with the will.
Mm-hmm.
And that sometimes doesn't come in the perfect Anthony Joshua outfit, right? Sometimes you look like Marciano and you too short and you know you're not fast enough. But look what he did, right? Because will and determination is what's the difference. So when a kid walks in and he says, "Man, I'll message me," or say, I'll take a look at everybody. I'm like you in that manner. I'll take a look at everybody. But when you walk in the gymnasium, I'm gonna hand you this jump rope and tell you to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I want to train you from hopping this rope. And it has nothing to do with your motor skills. You might miss it every time. Hell, that's even a way to teach me faster, because if you missing that rope every time and you continue to do it, now I may be working with something, right? So that's the difference. And it was a kid who came in the gym the other day. I put him on the jump rope, and he had a couple of amateur fights, and the bell went off. He stopped, and I'm looking, because of course I didn't tell him how many rounds. I didn't tell him that. I said, "Go, motherfucker!" And I see one of my kids slide over there, and I couldn't hear what they said, but I know it went something like this: "Say, bro, who told you to stop jumping rope?" That's a good way to get ran out the gym. And then he continued to jump rope and never stopped again, right? So these are the things, man, that just because you come in and do a good Floyd Mayweather imitation, because that's all it is, you're not Floyd Mayweather. I'm not gonna jump all over it, bro. And so me, I'm always root for the underdogs, bro. And sometimes the underdogs are the best.
Yes.
But they're the underdogs, so nobody don't know it. So I've tuned my eyes to recognize the underdogs, or at least that's what I'm trying to do. So when I see when guys like Regis are proving it right, y'all fucked up. Y'all thought y'all knew, but y'all didn't know shit. These are the guys that I live life on. In fact, don't everybody love a secret? Everybody loves a secret.
I'm glad you said that.
Because if you and I know something that the rest of the world don't know, we can sit back and go look at these dummies. With their opinions, and some are off, some of them are on. Somebody may even almost get it. But we can sit here and go wish they knew, but they don't know. It's just human nature.
I'm gonna tell you another guy who they overlooking. And I gotta keep saying, not because he's my friend, because I've seen him work with Marlon over at 3MG Boxing. He got them Rojas brothers. Freddie Rojas. Freddie Rojas.
He's a problem.
It's a problem. Freddie Rojas is 9-0. I talked to Richard Schaefer the other day about Freddie. I said, hey, how about making Freddie Rojas, making a match with Freddie Rojas and Fernando Jr. Vargas? How about that? And Richard Schaefer's like, I don't know if
no.
Rojas, I see Rojas exposing him. You said, Fernando, you got the dynasty, right? So let's fight. They both undefeated, up-and-coming fighters. Rojas is 9-0. Fernando Vargas Jr. is 7-8-0. Perfect opportunity to see who got what.
Yeah,
He was youth champion And he ain't signed with nobody. Come on, man.
Freddie, another one with intangibles. Freddie Rojas, let's say, because the kid could box, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Let me get that out the way. I don't want it to be misunderstood what I'm saying. Because the kid could box. But let's just say, as an outsider, you don't appreciate his boxing for whatever reason. Freddie brings something different to the table too, which is that dog he's gonna hit you. If I can't hit you with nothing in your shoulders, I'm gonna hit your shoulders. I'm gonna hit your forearms. I'm gonna hit your hips. I'm gonna hit everything. You're gonna know you done been in a fight. And that kid's gonna get out the ring and hit the bag for 10 rounds. That kid's a monster, man.
Yes.
That kid's a monster, bro.
They ain't talking about him either, man. So
Nope.
all the underdogs will prevail because you can't keep them down for long, man. You can run, you can hide, but they coming.
Coach,
like Deion Sanders said, we coming.
Coach, it's a different thing. Check this out. D1 athletes or let's say prospect, amateur boxing prospect. It's a different thing when you're some kind of prodigy and everybody knows it and everybody's opening the door, and you get the purse minimums from your promoter and everything's good. You ain't tripping. You're able to give mama some rent money till you could buy a house and all that shit, right? They got to face adversity too in this boxing at some point. And what you gonna do? Because there's just as many as there's people who did, who was elite. The carpets was rolled out, and they were the real deal. I would say there's even more who, when the adversity came, the Broners, those types who were phenomenal boxers and all that. But when that fucking pressure came, I rather, and this is what I'm saying. They're not quitter. I ain't talking about a quitter. That's something different. I'm talking about a kid that goes, I'm gonna just choose to stay safe. I'm not gonna let you beat me up. I'm not gonna let you knock me out. For every one of those, there's the Marvin Haglers who wasn't giving shit, who was running in the fucking 2 feet snow saying, fuck y'all, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, no matter what you do. There was the Regis Progrades who look, man, I hear you. I'm glad you got your red carpet and shit, but come over here, watch what happened. The carpet gonna be red from you leaking, motherfucker. That's what we gonna do. And that's a different, and I always consider, I always wore the black hat, not the white one. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for that guy who ain't supposed to be there. So I want them guys to go, man. And so the Freddie Rojas's and shit, bro. I love them, dude. I love them because they can fight. Nobody's checking for everybody checks for you when you get there. When you get there, everybody knows you the man. Fuck, it ain't hard to see who's the man.
Yeah.
You know who's the man, that's the guy they're showing. But on the way up, can you distinguish and differentiate between that bullshit and the real deal then? Because ain't nobody leading you, ain't nobody pushing you to who's the best. You got to figure that out for yourself, man. And so again, bro, some of my favorite fight, and one of my favorite fighters is this prospect Shushu, bro. I think he's special, bro. That Bruce Carrington kid, I think he's very, very special. Yeah. And so I like them too. Huh?
John Tucker too.
Yeah, I like them guys too. But I like using my boxing intelligence and go, man, what's this kid? Let me see, who is this kid? I want to see what he's doing. And it doesn't have to be the in-ring shit. It might be the shit I'm watching you do with him. It might be the shit I'm watching, but I'm seeing it. Oh, yeah. It's going to take a lot to deter this kid. You're not going to deter him. A loss ain't going to deter him. Getting hurt ain't going to deter him. None of those things. He's coming, man. That Evander drive, Yeah, you 6'6", you're a giant. So I'm me though. That's what I like to see, man. That's what I like to see with these fighters, bro.
Yeah. And I've been blessed to see it, bro. So I'm just looking forward to what's next, man. We just waiting now. I'm looking for the next opportunity to train somebody for the next fight. So
Absolutely. Well, you know, I don't shy away from saying I do business with you if anybody asks me, because I don't have no 10 lists of strength conditioning trainers that I suggest. I got one. That's it. That's all I do. Hey, bro. And until my kid needs that, I got him over here in this gym. Once he needs that, okay, now we need something that I need some help, because it's like with Quentin, right? And we've been with you how many fights now? Plenty.
Yeah.
But I liken it like this. If all right, Evans over here doing his thing, I'm over here doing my thing, right? And in that curve, soon as this happens, that's when we're ready.
Oh yeah.
And you can see it. You can see it in the output in the gym. You can see it in the sparring. You can see it in the work. And as soon as and it usually happens about a week and a half out, 2 weeks out. Boom, let's go. We good. I don't give a fuck what this guy got. We gonna be able, because I'm gonna adjust it, and you got the win and conditioning to do it. So let's go, man.
I like to see that shit come together like that, man. It's
bro.
Amazing to see that.
And hey, the uninitiated coach don't see it. You see that, huh? They don't know. They don't know what they're looking at. They like, what? He looks good. And you like, no, my kid, he ain't even started yet. What you talking about?
Yeah.
But man, it's a beautiful thing when it all clicks. It makes all the work worth it, because it's almost like the world telling you did it right. You know what I'm saying? What's the word I'm looking for? It's telling you, you're on the right directive. You're on the right path. Just keep going.
I'm ready. Let's see what next. See what happens next.
Well, look, we're gonna get busy, bro, at the beginning of the year, and I got a couple of things on deck, man. So you'll know it, man. And you know, I'm home team all around. Shit, if you got somebody, that's who I'm rocking with, bro. So I appreciate you coming on, bro. We're gonna get back together on the next one.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Keep doing your thing, bro.
All right, bro.
All right. Take care. God bless.
Yeah.
Peace.